Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Konnichiwa. Welcome back to Jarvis in Japan, and I'm continuing my talk with the anime sensei, Yuki. And today, we're going to talk a bit more about anime, and especially why you should learn Japanese from anime. And that's the question I'm going to ask Yuki today. So, Yuki-san, why should we learn Japanese from anime?
Good question, actually. Why should I? First of all, I would not say not necessarily you must learn from anime, but the point is you must learn the language, any language, not only Japanese, using whatever you can be really crazy about, something you're not really interested in. In my case, that was anime, video game, those so-called subculture, right? So in your case, by the way, the Jin-san, how did you learn Japanese? In your case, is there any specific way that you used to learn Japanese?
Well, I started because I liked anime.
Yeah. Is there any specific title that you use in that case?
So when I started off, I was really into Hakone no Rengetsu, so the Full Metal Alchemist.
Yeah.
So I watched literally all of that, like memorizing all the words. Then I got really into Gintama.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. Because you really into those two titles, the anime.
There was a lot. It's just mostly like when you're relaxing, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're like studying at university, studying hard. You want something you can chill and also watch, like in a foreign language at the same time.
Right.
You can learn from that.
The whole point is almost the same, but in my case, okay, let me talk about my story, how I used to study English, vice versa. Right. Right now I speak English like this, but there's some reason why I could have speak like the English like this, because maybe I shouldn't just share that. Okay, in my case, where should I start?
So how do you start? You probably started like learning from TOEIC.
Oh, and you know what? Tests. It's kind of weird, but I did never care about.
You've never.
That's the TOEIC, because you know that it's almost same as JLPD. Having JLPD N1 not always meaning you can speak Japanese, right?
Yeah, I've met N1 people and they can't speak Japanese.
Exactly, and also vice versa. Somebody who doesn't even have a N5 can speak very fluent Japanese, right?
Yeah, I don't have JLPD.
Wow, that's good.
What's in it?
Yeah. So in my case, the reason why I wanted to study English because I wanted to have more Otaku friends all over the world. And at that time, especially even now, there's some video game I really crazy about, which is, have you ever played Monster Hunter, Shin-san?
I've heard of it, but I haven't played it.
So there's some like multiplayer online game.
For like games and stuff, you want to make foreigner friends through the game.
Exactly. But the first time, of course, I am really good at playing when you play in Japan with Japanese people in Japanese. But the first time I went study abroad in Canada, I also tried the same thing. I bought the console and video game title in Canada. The very first time, I could not do anything because I couldn't communicate well. So it was very shocking to me. So right after that, I decided to take a memo. So many the name of the monster, name of the item, how to know the order.
So it's like So the real answer to the question is like you should learn from anime because it's something you'd like. If you like it, learn from the things you like is the best way to. It motivates you, right?
Right. So first of all, there's also one more thing. Since I'm also teaching Japanese, every single student I teach, very first lesson I always asking them is why do you study Japanese? And I'm sorry saying this way, but I don't think anybody who saying that because I want to be good at Japanese. They don't really give me any specific goal, but just they telling that I want to be able to speak fluent Japanese. But they don't tell me why. Just want to be fluent. In that case, I don't want to say this way, but it's almost impossible to be fluent because being fluent, this is really ambiguous, unclear.
Yes. It's like you're fluent, you're so what? Like, so what? Can you talk about dinosaurs to a kid?
Yeah.
Probably not, because you don't know stuff about dinosaurs in Japanese. Or like
right. If you look at talking about kanji, it's impossible even for me as a native Japanese people to know every single kanji. I don't even know how many characters, how many kanji exist in the world. Maybe 10,000 or more?
20,000.
20,000. My gosh, you know about it.
But it's like you find your fields you like and you learn from those.
Exactly.
And then you can find those people as well. And that's how you make friends, right?
Right. And first of all, more than anything, which is you need to set specific goal. You better set as specific as you could. So let's say, ordering some food in a restaurant, or just like me playing the Monster Hunter with, native people, things like that. So you always need to think about set your goal, first of all.
So like, why are you learning it? For most people, for me, it was when I really started learning, it wasn't actually to come to Japan. It's really like, I really wanted just to understand what they say in anime. I wanted to understand Japanese media.
Exactly. So you wanna make it more like dig into it to make it why. If you just think about because I wanna come visit Japan, if that's it, it's not really good enough, I think.
Yeah, you might just Google Translate.
Right.
It's gonna be better.
Yeah. That's what I think. ですね. So in your case, when you come visit Japan, what was your very first goal to study Japan?
So my first goal was actually to come to Japan exchange. So I started learning them, but then I came to Japan, wasn't actually good at Japanese at all when I was in Japan. Like I was studying really, really hard. Like really. I was studying from like textbooks, boring stuff, classes, attending extra classes, but just wasn't getting anywhere.
I know, that should be really frustrating to you.
It was super frustrating.
Yeah,
like I wasn't.
You didn't even have any opportunity to speak output.
There was lots of opportunity, but then you suck, right? So it's hard. Like even might understand. Like I can feel it now, but it's like I had some recordings of my Japanese from 4 years ago. And I listened to them a few months ago when I started my Japanese podcast, and I was like, like now you understand because you've just been studying for stuff you enjoy.
Right.
Moving from that, you just shoot up so faster.
Right. So here's one more thing that most of the students, just like including you, who especially beginner, many people thinking I think they're taking wrong steps. Like mostly people thinking that you gotta start from the input, which is learning about grammar or like things, but different, opposite. To me, you better to start from the output, and you need to find out that motivation, that how interesting, how fun it is. Then after that, you will realize that in my case, remember that when I very first time I played the Monster Hunter in English.
That's an interesting way of putting it. Because I'm actually a bit the opposite for that when I started. I was very anti-output. I was everything input.
Right.
Reading, learning, all the grammar points. But even when I started learning myself, I was very input for listening, watching anime. But then the output was actually to understand anime, right? For your case, the output was to understand the game.
Right.
Like most people think the output is speaking.
Right. No,
like that could be a misunderstanding, right? It could be something more than that.
Right. You know what? Also, one more thing is if you could communicate with people well, I don't think you need to be perfect with, you don't need to be so many people trying to be perfectionists. I think
I've seen that recently in the Japanese learning community. They all want to be super perfect, like natives.
Exactly.
I'm like, you don't have the time for that.
I know.
You don't have the time for that.
More, mistakes, Even my Japanese, also even my English and also your Japanese, when we speak in our own languages, we're making several mistakes, but you don't really care as long as because you understand me, right?
Yeah. I can understand you, so it's good.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah, because I've definitely seen that recently in the Japanese learning community that everyone wants to be like native, but it's like you're a native, then what?
Yeah, then what? Yeah.
Like, what can you do after that? Can you still get a job? Like, all that time you could have spent doing other things, like skills.
There one more funny story that when I teaching Japanese to the foreign people, sometimes they tell me like, teacher, my Japanese don't really get very much, so how should I do? What should I do? And actually, they're really good at Japanese already too, me. And I'm always telling them like, look, you know what? In Japan, there's a bunch more Japanese native people who got worse Japanese skills than you. You know what I'm talking about? It's no
Yeah.
grammar, but there's so
Can't really
many
speak to anyone.
people, especially I don't want to say this, but especially kind of elder people, they do know Japanese, but they don't know how to communicate with people better. Yeah,
That's one thing I did realize Japan. Like I thought, like my Japanese is bad. I can't actually speak to this person, but it's actually not. It's just the other person, they're just bad at speaking.
That doesn't matter as long as you communicate with people. Yeah. Right, that's the thing. Yeah, you don't even need to care about it. Small points, you don't need to be perfectionist.
So as long as you understand the things you enjoy.
Right. Also, as long as you have a motivation to do that, that would be great.
So it's like find the thing you enjoy in the language. Find that, learn from that, output in that.
Right.
That's okay, because that's your goal, right?
Yeah, you know what? Mind me if I introducing one of my service to do that.
Yeah, okay.
Which is, what Discord is?
Yeah, Discord. Yeah, it's like a gaming platform. You want to chat to people.
Right. Using that platform, I'm also making my own community for those who study Japanese, and mostly for those anime fans, and also who have any strong motivation to study Japanese and wanna live in Japan in the future. I'm having that one Discord group, and there I'm teaching some Japanese for group lesson for free. Also, people there sharing their passion.
I could share some of my stuff there if that's okay. That could help them out.
Exactly. So, there you can find a motivation and how fun the studying Japanese is. Also speak out Japanese. This is very fun. So yeah, if you're looking for any motivation, maybe mind me if I tag some link.
Yeah, we'll tag all the links to your stuff down below in the description. So yeah, that's been another conversation with Yuki-san today. So if you want to learn more Japanese from anime, please check out Yuki-san's content. And I also have a series of blog series I've done for anime grammar from anime. So please check those out. And you yourself could maybe, if you do like anime, you could learn from anime and maybe find your dream job in Japan as an anime sensei.
That was so fun to talk with you today. Thanks very much.
It's been an honor. I'm going to end it. 皆さん最後まで聞いてくれてありがとうございました。
ありがとうございました。